All right. I am live. Well, actually not. Most of you guys that'll watch this will be watching it live to tape. But hello, I am Antonio Bryce. I am a comic book writer and podcaster and all that good stuff. This is going to be part of my Ikari Press podcast, which you can catch at anchor.fm/Ikari Press. And it will also be streaming on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. If you do happen to catch this on one of the other platforms that I normally stream to, you can join my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Ikari Press. And I am currently working on Daym Drop Super Official with the man himself, Daym Drops. You can get that at daymcomic.com. All right, so it is Christmas. Hopefully everyone is having a great Christmas holiday season, getting spend time with your family, your loved ones, all that good stuff, getting fed and getting all kind of nice presents and, just getting to see people that you probably don't spend as much time with, all that. But so on today's episode, I wanted to talk about a couple things. I had some ideas of things that I wanted to kind of run through. I saw they released the Coming to America trailer, the sequel to the original, what I think come out about 1987, Coming to America with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. Coming to with the number 2 in the middle of it, America, is the sequel, which will be released March the 5th of 2021. It was supposed to come out this year, obviously, with the COVID and all this kind of thing. It got delayed. They was like, oh, it's going to come out during the summer, which was the original plan. It was supposed to come out the summer this year. Then it got pushed back because they were shooting it last year and up until just maybe early months, I think even like in February of this year. The reason I say that is because even they had some photos on social media. Apparently, they shot a lot of it in Atlanta, and they were also shooting Bad Boys for Life there. So there was some stuff shared on Instagram, on I think Will Smith's Instagram, and they crashed each other's sets and stuff. So like you saw like Martin Lawrence and Wesley Snipes and all these different people that are in the movie, because Wesley Snipes is, I think his character's name's General Izzy in Coming to America. But some people was like, oh, is he going to have a cameo? Is Will Smith going to have a cameo and all this kind of thing? One place I know that was used on the set of Coming to America, the new one, they used Rick Ross's mansion to shoot some things at. Some of the scenes were shot at. Rick Ross has a huge mansion that I don't know how many hundreds of acres or whatever. He bought this place is huge. The mansion used to belong to Evander Holyfield. And I know they said Evander Holyfield had spent like $15-20 million getting this. He had built this large ranch. He had horses, all this kind of stuff. And the thing is, after a while, when you ain't making them big fights, he do a fight and make 30 million. And he's like, oh, okay, I can pay for this. You see a lot of celebrities, after certain things ain't popping off no more, they have to start downsizing. They have to let them cars go. They have to, downsize the real estate a little bit. So this was one of the, and matter of fact, I remember they were trying to sell Evander Holyfield's estate for like $25-30 million. They were trying to get, and I think Rick only paid like 12 for it. He didn't pay that much. He got a good price on it. Same thing. I remember when Mike Tyson had bought this big estate up there in Connecticut, and he had spent like 20 million on it. And then 50 Cent bought it, and I think he only gave like 12, and I think he sold it for 8. So it was like I always thought when they talk about real estate, I thought the value is supposed to at least maintain its values. But if as the economy fluctuates, it's a buyer's market instead of a seller's market. So yeah, Mike Tyson lost money on that. 50 Cent lost money on the property. Evander Holyfield lost money, although the place that Rick Ross, like I said, I've seen overhead shots. about the only place I think I can think of that compares to it was that mansion that Michael Jordan had in Chicago when he was still married to his first wife, Juanita. Michael Jordan had spent like about $45-50 million on this huge. It was huge, had a helicopter pad, big like Olympic sized swimming pool, a full size basketball court, tennis court, had guest quarters, multiple guest quarters. I mean, just there's still overhead shots of this place. I'm pretty sure someone else owns that now, because when they got divorced and everything, they was just trying to, because Juanita got like $100 million. It was a large settlement, so they chopped that place up. But Rick Ross took the Evander Holyfield spot, and he's always filming stuff there and doing everything. So apparently he allowed the film crew of Coming to America to use so maybe some of the stuff that we'll see for Samunda or whatever is going to be filmed at Rick Ross's, because like I said, this house is amazing. I've seen sometimes on Instagram and stuff, Rick Ross is going around, he got his garage is bigger than most people's houses and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's a very nice place. So, okay. So they put the trailer out. Now, what I want to do is, I haven't seen the movie, because like I said, it's not coming out. Some people have seen the movie. Some of the press people have seen it, because early reviews are starting to come in. They've released some photos, and Entertainment Weekly did a big press junket on it. They had some exclusive photos and talked to some of the stars and the directors and producers, all that kind of thing. But just from seeing the trailer and kind of learning the plot, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you exactly how the movie is going to go. Because just based on everything I've read and seeing the trailer, I can tell you pretty much how I think the movie's going to go. So the basics is, you saw the first Coming to America. Prince Akeem comes to America with Simi, who is Arsenio Hall's character, and he meets this young lady, Lisa McDowell, and what's the father's name? I have to look it up. I can't remember. The guy from Good Times, John Amos. Okay, so John Amos he's Cleo McDowell, and he's got to knock off McDonald's, and McDonald's is trying to sue him because there's some funny shit. So that's what's going on. And at that point, we are forward in time. With the first one coming out like 1987. So the new movie is set 30 years later. So right at the end of Coming to America, Akeem and Lisa, they got married, and and that was part of the point. He's supposed to find his wife and prepare to become the king. I can't remember the woman that played Akeem's mother in Coming to America. Because let me see, her and James Earl Jones were the king and queen, but she died. I'm trying to think, when did she die? She's been gone about 10-15 years at least, because they brought James, when they did the live action Lion King, they teamed back up again. They were the voices of Simba's parents in the original Lion King cartoon, and then she died, and they brought James Earl Jones back to play Mufasa in the live action Lion King, and then they got what's the Alfre Woodard. They got Alfre Woodard to play Simba's mom in that, so they couldn't do it. But Akeem's mother, the actress that played her, she's been gone for a while, and so they just, from the trailer, King Jafar is dead. I mean, well, he's still alive. My bad. Okay, so Jafar is dying, because that's the thing. They've got him in his deathbed, and he's getting ready to pass his crown to his son Akeem, who has apparently been married to Lisa for 30 years, because they got everybody. Most of the original cast came back, even just for a cameo. I even saw they had Louis Anderson in there, and I'm like, damn, Louis Anderson is in the movie. They got everybody in here. That I'm the one person I actually wanted to see was Cuba Gooding Jr. A lot of people don't know, when you watch Coming to America 1, and they're sitting in the they're in the barbershop scene where, you know, Eddie Murphy's playing, he's playing the old Jewish guy, and he's playing the old man barber, and Arsenio Hall's playing one of the other barbers, and then there's, I can't remember that other guy that him and Eddie Murphy been friends for like 35 years or whatever. Because he's had cameos in some, I think he was in Harlem Nights and some of the other movies that Eddie Murphy's involved with. But that guy, because he came back, I saw him in the trailer too. So like, they've been down for like 40 years and Eddie's still putting him in movies, you know? So I was like, okay, I've been cool with this dude for like 40 years or whatever. But they pretty much just recreated the same barbershop scene. And I know Rick Baker did the makeup in the first one. I don't know if they were able to get Rick Baker to come back, because Eddie loves Rick Baker. Rick Baker, obviously Academy Award winner, you know, worked on Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. But Rick Baker did the makeup in Coming to America. He did the makeup on Norbit, which is another Eddie Murphy movie, which thought was funny. Obviously did the makeup on Nutty Professor 1 and 2. And he also did, what was it, Vampire in Brooklyn. So Eddie Murphy's worked with Rick Baker multiple times. So I haven't seen the credits, but I'd be surprised if they weren't able to talk Rick Baker into working with Ed, because Eddie loves Rick Baker. So I'm assuming Rick Baker is still alive. I haven't heard a lot of people that worked on like Star Wars movies are gone now, unfortunately. So, but I don't think Rick Baker is. That's gonna make me want to look that up now, because I was like, man, it would be crazy if Rick Baker is gone. But the makeup looks very similar. I mean, they recreated, because when Eddie Murphy I'm jumping ahead. I know I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry. But King Jaffe Jafar is on his deathbed, and, you know, he summons his son, and, you know, he's letting him know, he's like, hey, man, my time is coming, and you will be king soon, but you have to have an heir. Now, Akeem and Lisa have a daughter. They did have a child. They have a daughter. But Zamundan law says that the crown cannot pass to a female, even though she is, you know, of royal lineage and all that kind of stuff. She can't be the queen of Zamunda. But guess what? Apparently, when Eddie first crept over to America with Simi, he knocked some broad up who is played by Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live. He got some woman pregnant that we didn't see in the first movie, even though, I mean, oh God, that's a little, I hated that they did that. But apparently King Jaffe knew that his son had knocked this woman up, and I guess helped provide for the boy. And obviously he's a grown-ass man now. He's like 30-something years old, a young man by the name of Lavelle. So Jaffe tells Akeem, he goes, you must find your son and bring him, you know, so that he can, you know, you can raise him as a prince and he can take over as Zamunda, you know, as the king of Zamunda, even though he has a daughter and the daughters. So this is what's going to happen. Oh yeah, and there's Wesley Snipes is in there as this general. Well, yeah, I mentioned him, General Izzy, but it looks like General Izzy wants to take over Zamunda or whatever. So they know about the boy, all this kind of thing. So it looks like, which I keep saying he's a boy. I mean, he's a grown ass. Like you said, you in your 30s, you're a grown ass man. so they want to control. Wesley Snipes' character apparently goes over to America as well. They want to locate Akeem's son and maybe take control of him, so that General Izzy can be the ruler of Zamunda or whatever. I guess control Akeem's son, and just kind of rule, be the power behind the throne. So they kind of manipulate, and he'll be able to run everything, even though the actual king is Lavelle. And like I said, they have this daughter, Akeem and Lisa. They have the daughter. John Amos is back as her father and all this kind of thing. So he comes back to America to meet his son, blah, 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 the whole thing. I mentioned Rick Ross's home being used. He has a cameo in that. But that's why I was saying that I didn't see Cuba Gooding Jr. in that, because he was Cuba Gooding Jr. is the young man that was getting his hair cut in the barbershop in the first. That was actually one of his first movie roles. A lot of people don't know. If you go back and watch that movie, you'll see him. It was Cuba Gooding. That was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s one of his earliest film credits, was sitting in that barber chair and getting his hair cut and Coming to America. So, but I didn't see him. I don't know. I guess they couldn't use him now because Cuba Gooding Jr. got like sexual harassment things going. He got Me Too. Well, he got Me Too like last summer or something. Last year, I think, 2019. He got Me Too he was at the Sky Bar or something. It was on TMZ. I was like, yeah, he got Me Too. So I guess he can't make a little cameo in there. But what I think is going to happen is, they're going to have this whole thing where Akeem meets Lavelle. You're not my father. You never did anything for me, blah, blah, blah. They'll make up. And then by the time Akeem becomes the king, him and his wife, because at the end of the day, he's the king. So he'll make a law that'll actually say, oh, well, my daughter can be king, or she can be the queen if she wants. The crown can pass to male or female. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen, because they set everything up like that. He clearly, even though Lavelle's the older child, he's illegitimate, the whole thing. That's basically what it's going to be. I'm telling you, that's what's going to be, just based on the way movies are now, because everything's about social justice and all this kind of thing. So I think that, yeah, they'll have the whole father and son struggle between Akeem and Lavelle. They'll make up, and then Akeem and Lisa will decide somehow that their daughter is worthy to be the ruler of Zamunda. And that's what I think. Or the brother and sister will rule together or something like that. It's going to be one of those two things, because the whole point of them stressing the fact that a woman can't be the ruler tells me that they're walking you into the setup. They stress the fact in the trailer that a woman can't take the crown. So the fact that they're doing that tells me that this is social justice. You can always tell social justice moves because the people behind the scenes, they are emphasizing that. That's the thing, like they're making a point. Oh, a woman can't be in charge, blah, 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 blah. Well, why can't she? We'll do that. Didn't they do that in what was that? The Princess, not the Princess Diaries or whatever, where the girl was the princess and she didn't know she was the princess, but she had to get married, whatever the hell. And then what was Julie Andrews was her grandmother. And then they decided, oh, if she wants to rule, she can, even though she's a female, all this kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, that's weird. But I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. They're going to go. I hope the movie's funny, because I'm going to watch it. I got Amazon Prime. But I want to watch it. And then Akeem, like I said, Akeem and Lisa, they'll decide that their daughter is worthy to be the ruler of Zamunda. And that's it. Like I said, haven't seen the movie. I've only seen the trailer, and I've read some of the press that they've done and seen like some little video clips and stuff like that. That's all I've seen. I have no knowledge. This is just my conjecture, but I believe that is what is going to happen. And, you can take it to the bank here. So in a couple months, when the movie comes out, go, Yep, Antonio, you called it right. That's exactly what happened, because that's what I believe is going to happen. Let's see. Another thing's been going on. I've been doing. I've been going. Some of y'all listen to like my old podcast, Sexy Party, which is on my all my little streaming platforms. They have those little back issues or back episodes of Sexy Party. You can find those on anchor.fm/Ikari Press. But we did 22 episodes, 23 episodes of Sexy Party. Sashi, and then Anna, and then Mad Weirdo. That was always strange. I was like, yeah, I want you to call me the Mad Weirdo. So, but we did Sexy Party. So, one of the things I always talk about is online dating, because online dating, I don't know, I've had some success with online dating. I met some really cool chicks on there. I met some strange ones as well. And over the last few weeks, I've encountered a couple. Like there was a young lady I met on Tinder, and me and her were talking for a couple weeks, and she came through, and she was just supposed to come over and hang out for a little while because she didn't have much time. She was supposed to go to work. And then so she came over, we got some Chinese food and stuff. She picked out what she wanted to eat and all that kind of thing. And, I hit the Uber Eats up and ordered her up some Chinese, ordered me up some Chinese. And, we got our grub on, this kind of thing, just kind of chilled out for a minute. And things went down. And then she was supposed to leave because she got over my house around like 1:30. And then she was supposed to leave around 9 because she was supposed to be at work at 10. So she was like, I'm going to leave around 9, and then that'll give me an hour. I'll give me a shower, and I'll give me an hour to, get to work. Because her job was like 45 minutes away. So she was leaving a little bit early so she could get there on time. So she got there, and one thing that kind of irritated, she smoked cigarettes. So I was like, oh God, because I actually, I was attracted to her and whatnot, but it's kind of, I hate when I kiss somebody and they got, that cigarette smell on them. I don't like that. So that's the cigarette smell. I'm not feeling it. So the cigarette smell was a little much, but she took a shower and brushed her teeth and all that kind of thing. And, like I said, we hung out for a little while. And then she was like, hey, can you wake me up about like 8:15 or so? I set my alarm clock and then we went to sleep. Then it got time. So like 8:15, hey babe, get up, go. And then she was like, give me 10 more minutes. I was like, okay, 10 more minutes. 20 minutes later, I'm still in the bed trying to wake her up. I was like, hey, it's 9 o'clock. You got to get up and go. Give me like another 15 minutes. I was like, you got to be at work at 10 o'clock. You got to go. And she's sitting there. And she's staying, she's sleeping, go back. It's 4. I was like, hey, it's 9:45. You're going to be late. You got to go. Yeah, she just goes back to sleep. And I'm like, she said, sorry, it's hard to wake me up sometimes. And I was like, she's sitting there. And I'm like, whoever your coworker, because she worked at a gas station. So I'm like, whoever your coworker is, they're waiting on you to come in and take their spot so they can go home. Yeah, I'm going. So she's sitting there, and I'm like, oh God, this chick is annoying, and I want her gone. And so, I mean, even though I enjoyed fooling around with her and whatnot, it was time to go. So at that point, I'm like, yo, get up out my house. She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna, she's like, oh, your bed is so comfortable. Oh, and I'm like, okay. And I'm wanting her to dip. And then her phone starts ringing. Like it's after 10 at this point. It's 10 o'clock at night. She's supposed to be gone. And phone ring. Hello. I'm running a little late. I can be there at like 11:30. All right, bye. So she hangs up. I said, so what's up? She said, oh, I just I told him I'm gonna be running a little late, but I'll get there by 11:30. I said, okay, so get up and take a shower. Yeah, give me a minute. She's still laying in bed. So it gets 11. I said, hey, aren't you going? You gotta get up and go to work. Yeah. 11:30 comes. Phone starts ringing again. 12 o'clock. She just stopped answering her phone. They called her. It was like 1:30 in the morning. They were still trying to call her and stuff. So I'm like, damn, I'm stuck with this bitch all night now. This is not good. This is not what I want. And at that point, I was getting a little annoyed. And I noticed my pillow started smelling like cigarette smoke too, because I was like, I don't let nobody smoke in my house. She go outside and smoke her. Oh, I need a cigarette. And she'll go out and smoke and just like put cigarette. So like I got cigarettes all over my porch and stuff where she was out there smoking and stuff, and it's rather annoying. And she'd come in. It looked like Pigpen on Charlie Brown, where Pigpen had like the cloud of smoke all over. So even though she didn't smoke in my house, she was. Even after she left, I could just smell cigarettes all in my living room, all in my bathroom where she had been in there taking a shower and stuff and getting cleaned up and whatnot. You know, I washed, she had me wash her clothes. So I put her clothes in my washing machine and washed them and dried them and stuff. And, all that kind of thing, got her cleaned up on that. But I had to wash everything. I had to take all my sheets and just get everything clean because everything smelled like smoke after she left. It was horrible. So I just don't like that smell. But she was like, yeah, I'm still here. And I'm like, okay, so now I was like, okay, we kind of messed around again. I was like, well, hell, it ain't my job. We messed around again, went back to sleep, woke up, messed around again. But now I'm like, okay, I'm ready for you to leave. But I can't just be rude like that because, I had a good time with her and stuff, but I had shit to do. It was like, you still in my house, and I'm kind of hitting pretty strong. Don't you got to go? Because she got, like, her cats at the house. I was like, hey, don't you got to go take care of your cats and all this? I'm saying different things. And she goes, why are you trying to get rid of me? And I was like, no, I'm not trying to get rid of you. I just, I just thought your cats are fine. Why are you trying to, you just want me to leave? Just say that. No, everything's fine. No, I'm not trying to, it's that kind of thing. So it was I was like, oh boy. Yeah. So then I kind of shut up at that point. Then she went back to sleep. And then it was like about 2:30 and I went back to sleep. And then, and she got up and she goes, okay, I'm going to leave now. So it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. So she got, like I said, she came over the day before around 1:30, and then she left around 2:30 the next day. So I've been with her for a little over 24 hours at that point. She gets a call. She goes home. She gets a call from her manager, and they go, you're fired for not coming to work last night. And then she goes to, she's telling me, she's like, I got fired. What am I going to do because I lost my job? And I was like, bitch, I didn't tell you. I woke you up and everything. And she's like, oh, I know. I was like, bitch, I didn't try to keep you here. The fuck is you talking about? That whole thing. Because she was like, because I was over at your house and I didn't go get up and go to work. And I'm like, I woke you up multiple times. So it's my fucking fault that this crazy bitch laid in the bed and didn't get the fuck up. And I'm like, I told your goofy ass to get the fuck up and get out of my house and go to work, put your clothes on and slide on out. And then she was just, oh, your house is more comfortable, your bed and this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes, my shit, get the fuck out. I was like, yo, I'm not trying to be an asshole. We had our fun and everything, but it's time for you to go. And so she didn't listen and she stayed way longer than she was. And then so she talked to the GM again, and then because she works their third shift for them, so they didn't have nobody to cover because they were like, oh damn, she stuck us, but at the same point in time, we don't have nobody to take her spot, so we kind of need her to work. So even though she did some fuck shit, they was like, all right, cool, let's do this shit. So they let her come back, But when she walked in there, she called me again. She said, oh, I just quit my job. And I was like, what? Because they gave her a job back, and then she went back in there. And like I said, they must call the attitude with her, because the way she said, when she got in there, they wrote her up for no call, no show. And then she said the manager said that, okay, you can't be late anymore. If you're late again, then we have to terminate you. And she goes, these other people are late. Why are you sweating me? And blah, 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 and all this kind of thing. So she felt like she was being treated unfairly because of what happened. Even though I'm pointing out to her, I was like, bitch, you just stuck this person and made this other co-worker have to stay in the fucking building all night because your dumb ass didn't go in. This person had to stay overnight, and they had already worked like 10 hours, and then they had to work another like 8 or 9 hours because you decided to lay up in my bed and stick them and not go to work. Well, I don't know what to do because, you know, my rent's high and this and that and all this kind of shit. And I'm like, again, not my fault. So she kind of got mad at me and we stopped talking. But I was like, at that point, I was like, we had fun and everything, but it's time for you to go at that point. So all that. I don't know. Then I met another girl, and you know, I was I've been kind of talking to her. Met her a couple months ago on one of the dating sites that I use, and she seems a little bit more like someone I could actually be in a long-term relationship with. The other girl, I met her on Tinder. So when you go on Tinder, it's not to find a girlfriend or a long-term relationship. Tinder is specifically there to get it in. That's what Tinder's for. So I was like, I don't know anybody. It's funny when you meet somebody on Tinder and they go, oh, I just want to take it slow. The whole point of Tinder is to get it in. That's why I was like, I met a couple women on Tinder and they know what it is. I mean, they want some male companionship, and I'm looking for female companionship, and that's what it is, you know. So yeah, so there was a girl I met on Tinder a while back, and yeah, we ended up hooking up a couple times, but she wasn't trying to be my girlfriend. She wasn't actually trying to be in a relationship with me. She was looking for some dick, and I was like, I'm cool with that, you know. So that's what it is, you know. She had a little daughter, and she dropped her daughter off at her ex's house, so he could spend time with his little girl, and she come over and kick it with me, and I was like, yeah, that's a perfect relationship. And it's like she wasn't trying to be in a relationship with me. And same with this other girl. She's on Tinder. I met her, we talked a couple times, and then she came through and things went down. So like we did some like little video chatting and stuff. She had video chat on her phone, and we just kind of chatted a little so we could see each other and this kind of thing. So we just kind of did it. She came through. So I was like, I never looked at it like I was like, oh, this is a woman that I'm going to be in a long-term relationship with. She lived like almost an hour away too. So that was another thing. Cause I was like, she actually lived here in the city. I'd be like, oh, she out of the country. She was literally out there. It was like about 45 minutes to get to her house. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't trying to go back and forth like that. You don't even live around here. And if you were like, say in the next city over or something, I might come through and holler at you. It's like people, because if you drive an hour, you got to drive an hour back. So like that's a thing. So like I said, we met each other, and it was, like I said, we did what we did, and then all of a sudden it was my fault that she lost her job and all this kind of dumb shit. So I was like, okay. But this other girl, I met her on one of the more looking for a relationship type sites, and I'm getting to know her, and she's telling me her thing, and she's like, oh, I don't know, men, and I trust men, and I get cheated on, and this and that. And I'm like, I was like, I get that. She, it sounds like she's been hurt before, but she's like, so I just want to take it slow, and I don't want to rush into anything. And, if you're patient, maybe we can meet sometime and do this. And, I was like, okay, cool. After a while, I'm getting a little antsy because I'm like, ain't nothing happening. We just sitting here talking, and I don't know. I get kind of, after a while, I stopped caring about the dumb shit you tell me about your day and your job and all this other shit. Just like you probably don't want to hear about anything I'm doing. So it's like, yeah, because I'm telling her, she's like, so what is this? And I'm like, yeah, and I'm making this comic and all this kind of shit. And she don't care about the comic, and I don't care about her job. And, but she's a nice person, and I like her, and I would like to meet her and all this kind of thing. But it's just like, and I'm like, yeah, the small talk kind of, it starts getting a bit annoying. So at that point, I'm like, okay. And so she texts me, and she's like, I kind of, because I've been hurt, I kind of keep things at a distance and all this kind of thing, and I don't want to rush in. I was like, right, I got you. Okay. At that point, I'm like, okay. This ain't popping. And I said, hey, so what are you doing tonight? And then she said, oh, I'm going over to a friend's house and, gonna go hang out with a friend. I go, at that point, red flag goes up because I go, friend, because all her other friends, she would tell me about them. She would tell me their names, how long she known them, all this kind of thing. And so she just said, a friend. And I was like, okay. After, like I said, she was being very vague about this particular friend. And so at that point, I started kind of figuring that this friend wasn't a female and that this friend was a male. So I was like, okay. So if you got another, so what I kind of figured out what happened was she liked me as a person, but she wasn't sure. And so the other guy, she went over and kicked it over his house, but she didn't want to tell me anything yet because she probably hadn't slept with him yet either. But she didn't want to be honest with me because she hadn't committed to the other guy yet either, but they've been to the point where at least she's willing to go over to the house and kick it with him and whatnot. But she didn't want to mess everything up with me by telling me the truth that it was a guy. And I was like, it's like, bitch, just be real, man. Because I was like, once I know what it is, then that allows me to go, okay. Because I'm pretty loyal. If it's a regular relationship, I'm pretty loyal. I don't, if I'm talking to other people, I'm honest and that kind of thing. I try to, just being around the block, almost 46 years in the game. I'm just like, look, just be honest with people. Stop doing all the bullshit and stringing people along and not being honest about what you want, who you are, and all this kind of thing. That's just the way I kind of look at things. So what I kind of wanted to do is I'm like, look, if you tell me, okay, that this other fella, you about to go kick it with him, and you just kind of talking to a couple of guys, then that's cool. And that lets me know that I can talk to other girls, that I can holler at some of these other women that are hitting me up in my DMs on these sites. Because there was a couple, I had a couple other women that contacted me, and I was like, I started liking this one, so I was like, oh, okay. I'm kind of talking to somebody right now. I don't want to lead anybody on. I'm just trying to be upfront about everything, so I was like, but if that changes, but once I know what the deal is, and I said, oh, okay, so she's saying she's talking to somebody, so that means I can talk to somebody. Okay, then that's what it is, and if it develops into something more serious, then I can deal with that as well. So that's my only thing, not to mention, and then there was another one. She got on my nerves real quick, and I don't know. I've just been dealing with all that kind of thing, and in between, like working and doing things, and that's just kind of what I've been. I don't know, but anyway, I've hey, it's Christmas, and I just wanted to say those two things, and I think this will be a nice short podcast for the people that listen to my podcast, and leave the voicemails and all that, because I had somebody leave a voicemail. It was a damn Bible verse. I thought that was weird. I was like, what are you putting a Bible verse on there for? I was like, that was like, it's like, but yes, anchor.fm/cardpress if anybody is interested, or you can, like I said, you can catch it on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio. We're on TuneIn, we're on Stitcher, pretty much all the major platforms you can, because they'll pull from like iTunes or someplace. Just type in Ikari Press, and it should come right up. But yeah, this has been a good year for my podcast. It looks like, I've been looking at my streaming numbers. More people are listening to it. Appreciate all y'all that are listening to the podcast. And, it's been fun. I like podcasting. Seem like you can make more money podcasting. And, that's another thing. So, yeah. So, oh shit, I don't know what to say. I'm getting out of here. Card Press Podcast. Also Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all at a Card Press. Cardpress.com will take you to Brand Way of the Gun, the sequel. We're getting closer to 32,000. So we're appreciate people that have supported that. Also, DaymComic.com. Matter of fact, let me throw that back up there. DaymComic.com. If you go to DaymComic.com, you can order a copy of Superficial. I saw we just went over 4,000. There's some really cool stuff coming up with that, but you won't see it until probably within another couple weeks. But something really cool is about to happen, so I'm really excited about that. But I appreciate the people that have supported my project with Daym. We're gonna hook that up. You'll start seeing some new art from Kanan and some art from Demetrius shortly, and we'll try to get this thing going. But yeah, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all of the Card Press, cardpress.com, Brand Way of the Gun, DaymComic.com takes you to Daym Super Official. People have been supporting my Teespring store. So, appreciate the people that have been rocking at a Card Press merch. Like those of you that will watch this video later will see that I'm wearing one of the designs that Kanan hooked up. But we've also, like, if you type in a Card Press on Amazon, that stuff should come up, at least if you're in the U.S. I know in the U.S. and U.K. we've got designs, and I think I've got some German designs. That's about it. But like, if you're in the U.S., we should be straight. So yeah, if you're in the U.S. and you type in a Card Press on Amazon, our stuff should come up. But again, hope everyone is enjoying their Christmas today. If you celebrate one of the other holidays, if you celebrating Kwanzaa, if you're celebrating Hanukkah, whatever, I hope it's a blessed one. I hope everyone goes into the new year and has a blessed 2021. We need it. But that's it. I'm out, guys.